Remembrance Day is on November 11th, when Canadians pause in a silent moment of remembrance for the men and women who have served and continue to serve our country during times of war, conflict, and peace. Many stories from the past have been lost, but Zach Dunn is on a mission to preserve the past and the words and the stories from veterans from around the world, and he joins me today. Zach, it's great to have you.
Thank you so much, Anna, for having me on the show. I'm excited to chat with you.
Tell me about what you do.
So for the last 3 years, I've been traveling around Ontario, interviewing World War II, Korean War, and I actually just interviewed a Canadian Vietnam War veteran.
Wow.
And basically what I do is I sit down with these veterans with my camera and microphone and film all their stories.
Yeah.
And I post them on social media, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, and create a mini documentary about their life in the service. And it's been quite incredible. I've interviewed 57 veterans from 9 different countries, and it's been a great journey so far.
Wow. What made you want to do this?
Mainly because of my family history. So my granddad, John Lionel Williams, he served in the Second World War along with my nanny and my 2 uncles.
Right.
And in 2021, you're just asking questions about your family. He passed away when I was about 3.5, so I didn't get to know too much about him. But what I found out is he was a World War II veteran, and this is on my mom's side. So he would have been 100 in 2021, and he joined up when he was 18.
Wow.
So I kind of thought to myself, is there any other World War II veterans in my community? I lived in Port Perry at that time, and so what I did was I said, I just want to interview one veteran, one World War II veteran. Maybe there's others, but I just want to interview one. So I called my local legions, I got connected with a Peterborough reporter, and she introduced me to Arnold Graham, and he was my first interview, and he's turning 99 in December.
Is he?
So that was just the start, and it's been 3 years this month now, and like I said, 57 different interviews from veterans from 9 different countries.
That's amazing, and they're preserved for everybody. You're keeping that history alive by recording and sharing on social media and bringing those stories to a new generation, right? And I'm sure many of the people that you've interviewed probably never, in their wildest dreams, ever thought that they would be in front of such an audience, especially on social media, which can reach so many people, and on YouTube, right?
Absolutely, and what I do as well is I utilize, TikTok and whatever it is, and, some of the videos I post get, 10,000, 30,000, some are 100,000 views.
Really?
I posted a video in 2023 for a World War II veteran, Sietske Driver. She turned 103 sort of last July, and 100,000 people saw it. So when I gave her a call and told her family, they were quite happy. But it's really about saving their stories, preserving, and it's really for the next generation and kids.
Mm-hmm.
I started out, I was just turned 22, and now I'm 25, and I really want to make sure that people experience what I experience, and they don't read about these veteran stories just in a book. I want them to experience it through their own way, and through either short clips or watching the documentaries themselves, and kind of feeling, wow, like this is not that far away from me.
Right.
It's only about 75, 80 years that the Second World War sort of ended, and I try to connect with a lot of different schools and try to help out, share the stories with the kids.
Right. How does it feel for you? You and I were talking off camera. You recently interviewed someone who was in World War I in Richmond Hill.
Yeah, so he's the last living World War II veteran.
Oh, World War II, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So he's the last living World War II veteran in Richmond Hill, Rex Arnett, and this is someone that is, this generation, the quiet generation, the grayish generation, whatever you want to call them, they're so humble. This is someone that did over 20 missions, flying for the RCAF over Germany, very dangerous missions, and he came home, had 2 kids, and worked as a sales guy, and never talked about his stories. And I still visit him now, and he's turning 100 in about 2 weeks, and just such an amazing man, and someone I've really looked up to, over the last year or so. And again, he's never shared his story. So what I did was I got a banner. If you're from Canada or you're watching at home, you see in your local communities, there's a lot of different banners, and there's amazing people with the legions that do that. So all I did was contact my local legion, told him the story, got his banner up there, and he was quite happy to see that. So he, again, was a wireless operator. He got basically grounded for one mission. The very next mission, his crew went out. The guy who replaced him and 6 of his other crew members got shot down that next night, and unfortunately they passed away. And he was the youngest on his sort of squadron. He was 19, but the pilots 22, 23, 20. Unfortunately they passed away, and 2 bailed out the 2 gunners. So, this is just a story that was never shared. And I continue to try to search out these stories to try to save as many as I can, because 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even a couple of years from now, they're not going to be there anymore, and just trying to save as many as I can.
Now, you talked to somebody recently who joined when they were 17. Can you tell me a little bit about that story?
Absolutely. So that's what I'm finding a lot now, where sometimes they even lie about their age. Arnold Graham, who I interviewed back in 2021, he was my very first interview, and that one is very close to me. And he was born in Lakefield, Ontario, and he joined up when he was 17, and his story was, he already had 6 brothers in the war, and he asked his mother's permission to join because he wanted to get his 6 brothers home sooner. So his sort of involvement in the war, he was in the RCAF again. He was a mid-upper gunner on a Wellington bomber plane who flew very dangerous missions deep into Germany, dropping bombs and whatnot. So again, joined up when he was 17 and then flew missions at 18. And imagine you're 15, 20,000 feet, it's -30, -40, and he's in this small turret, if you can imagine at home. He's in the small turret, and there's planes going over, because the RCAF and the British, they flew at night. Right. So you imagine you're 18 years old, you're flying these dangerous missions, you have flak guns, you have different things flying around, you have to survive. So I think he did 19 missions, and then eventually he was actually shot down and was in a German prison camp for a little while before he came to Canada. And when the war ended, he was still young. He turned 20 just that December of 45.
Amazing.
So when the war ended, he was still quite young.
What an incredible story. And it's incredible of you to have taken this on, because it's a passion project. So we have 30 seconds left. Where can people support you, maybe donate, find the videos? Where can people find you? Absolutely. So the best place is my website, globalveteranstories.com. You can search me up on YouTube, Global Veteran Stories by Zach Dunn. And like I said, I'm a one-man show, so anytime I travel throughout Ontario, it's all self-funded. So if you'd like to donate, I have a Patreon, a GoFundMe, or you want to just send me a check or whatever it is, because 100% of the funds just pay for the gas just for me to go out there. So I just came back from Guelph and Kingston. So globalveteranstories.com, fill out a contact form, send me an email, and if you know a veteran in your area, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War veteran, send me a contact form, and I would love to help share their story. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciated our conversation. And it's time for another break, but don't go away. There's more to come. I will see you on the other side.